When to an opening 20 seconds, you don't actually run out of things to say. You just feel like you do. There's that moment when the conversation pauses for a second too long, and suddenly your mind goes blank. Not empty, just unreachable. Like the words are there, but locked behind something you can't see. So you say nothing, and afterward, you replay it. Why didn't I just say something simple? But the real question is, why does your brain shut down right when you need it most? 2. Problem deep dive and visual person sitting in a group. Silent, others talking. It doesn't happen all the time. You can talk easily with close friends. Sometimes you're even funny, sharp, present. But in certain moments, new people, unfamiliar settings, or even someone you want to impress, everything changes. You become hyper-aware of your words, of your tone, of how you're being perceived. And suddenly, conversation feels like a performance. Every sentence becomes a decision. Is this interesting enough? Does this sound weird? What if they don't respond? So instead of speaking, you start filtering. And the more you filter, the slower you get. The slower you get, the more awkward the silence feels. And the silence starts to mean something. They think I'm boring. I'm bad at conversations. Over time, this becomes identity. Not just a moment of awkwardness, but who you think you are. Someone who just isn't good at talking. But this isn't a personality flaw. It's a pattern. A very specific psychological pattern. And it starts much earlier than you think. 3. Reframe. Visual empty room with sunlight slowly moving. Your brain is not trying to embarrass you. It's trying to protect you from something deeper than silence. Rejection, social exclusion, judgment. From an evolutionary perspective, being rejected by the group once meant something serious. Isolation could mean danger. So your brain developed a system when social risk increases. It shifts from expression to protection. You stop saying things freely. You start scanning for mistakes. You don't speak to connect anymore. You speak to avoid saying the wrong thing. And that shift changes everything, because now you're no longer having a conversation. You're managing a threat. 4. Psychological mechanism of visual. Abstract brain animation with 2 zones lighting up. There are 2 systems at play here. Think of them like 2 modes, the creator and the editor. The creator is fast, intuitive, associative. It pulls ideas, stories, and words effortlessly. This is what you experience when you're relaxed. The editor is slow, analytical, cautious. It checks for mistakes. It evaluates risk. Both are useful, but they're not meant to run at the same time. Here's the problem in awkward conversations. Your brain activates the editor too early, before the creator has a chance to speak. This creates a bottleneck. Ideas don't stop existing. They just get blocked before they reach your mouth. This is linked to something called cognitive load. Your working memory, the space where thoughts are formed, is limited. When it's overloaded with self-monitoring, there's no room left for spontaneous thinking. It's like trying to write a sentence while constantly erasing each word before it's finished. So the silence is an emptiness, it's interference. And if that's the cause, then the solution isn't thinking of better things to say. It's changing how your brain processes the moment. But how do you actually do that in real time? 5. Practical framework, a visual notebook with 1 sentence written. Shift the mod. 1. Shift from performance to curiosity. What to do? Instead of trying to say something interesting, try to find something interesting. Ask simple, open-ended questions. Why it works. Curiosity activates the brain's reward system. It reduces self-focus and redirects attention outward. This lowers activity in the threat detection system. Example, instead of thinking, what should I say next? You ask, what made you get into that? Now the pressure shifts away from you, and the conversation starts moving again. 2. Use the last 3 words rule. What to do? Repeat or build on the last few words the other person said. Why it works. This leverages associative thinking, the brain's natural way of generating responses. It removes the need to create something from scratch. Example, they say, I just got back from a really tiring trip. You respond, a really tiring trip. Or, what made it so tiring? You're not forcing a new topic, you're extending the current one, and your brain stays in flow. 3. Allow imperfect speech, her visual waves moving slowly, imperfect but continuous. What to do? Let yourself say slightly unpolished things, even if they're not perfectly phrased. Why it works. Perfectionism increases cognitive load. It keeps the editor in control. By allowing imperfection, you reduce internal filtering. Example, instead of waiting to phrase something perfectly, you say, I'm not sure how to explain this, but, and then continue. This keeps the creator active. Momentum matters more than precision. 4. Anchor to the present moment. What to do. Comment on something immediate, your surroundings, the situation, or a shared experience. Why it works. The brain finds it easier to process concrete, present stimuli than abstract ideas. This reduces the effort required to generate speech. Example: this place is louder than I expected. That presentation earlier was kind of intense. These aren't perfect lines, but they're real, and real keeps conversations alive. 5. Normalize micro silences. A visual: 2 people sitting comfortably in silence. What to do. Stop treating every pause as a problem. Let short silences exist. Why it works. When you fear silence, your brain associates it with threat. This increases anxiety and shuts down the creator. But when you accept it, the pressure drops. Example: instead of rushing to fill a 2-second pause, you breathe, and then continue naturally. Often the other person speaks first, and the conversation resets itself. 6. Integration. A visual: slow, moving light patterns forming a loop. Think of conversation like a river. When you try to control every drop, it stops flowing. But when you let it move, even imperfectly, it carries you. The problem was never that you had nothing to say. It's that you were trying to say it perfectly, while being watched, while being judged, while being evaluated by your own mind. But conversations don't require perfection, they require movement, small responses, simple curiosity, imperfect continuity. When the creator leads and the editor steps back just enough, words don't disappear. They return, quietly, naturally. 7. Quiet, empowering, closer. Visual: person walking alone at night, calm and thoughtful. Next time the silence comes, don't rush to escape it. Don't label it. Don't turn it into proof of something about you. Just notice what your mind is doing. Notice the pressure, the filtering, the hesitation, and then say something small, not perfect, just real, because the ability to speak was never lost. It was just waiting for you to stop trying so hard to get it right.